Hello, and thank you for watching. I am Tondaway. I am the owner and primary tutor at A Helpful Tutor. I realized my first live video that I tried to do today did not have any sound, so I apologize to anyone who was watching and wondering why there was no sound. I did not realize. So this is round two, and I'm going to be sharing how to be a homeschool hero. So, a little bit about myself. I've been teaching for 6 years. I've been teaching a variety of subjects, including math, science, reading, and test prep. And I've also been teaching online for 3 years, mainly ESL to foreign students, but also teaching my normal tutoring classes online as well. So I have a degree in economics, but I found after working with a tutoring company in the area that I really love teaching, and I had a knack for it, and I really enjoyed helping students understand things that were difficult for them and helping parents get their children to the academic level that they wanted for them. So lately, I've been hearing parents expressing some frustrations about this new homeschool situation they found themselves in due to COVID-19. So I wanted to share a little bit of some tips that I think will help to make it a little simpler and less stressful for you to manage that transition. So first thing, set up a routine. When children are going to their brick and mortar classrooms, they wake up in the morning, they get ready, they get on the bus, they get in the car, however they get to school, they know what their first class is, they know what time it starts, and they know everything that's going to happen from there until the end of the school day. So we don't need to recreate the exact school environment at home, but it's helpful to continue to have some sort of routine because that structure is helpful and it decreases confusion and frustration throughout the day. So, of course, we don't need to plan for their day to be from the same times that they would have if they were actually going to school. There's a lot of downtime during the school day that is not, we don't need to fill all of that time with learning time. So a few hours a day will be sufficient. Of course, you want to cover everything that you need to cover for your child, whatever assignments or activities they have to do. So it also doesn't need to be strict. We don't have to plan exact time blocks for when things are going to happen. Be flexible, and you're in control here. So you can do whatever you need to do to make it work for you. The minimum that we want to have is a plan for how things are going to progress during the day. So the kids know what's expected of them and they know the order that things are going to happen in. So first thing, you're going to get up, you're going to get dressed, we're going to have breakfast, then you're going to go sit down and start on your first class of the day. Then after you complete this number of activities, you'll have lunch, you'll go back and do something else. Lay those things out explicitly so everybody knows, post it somewhere where everybody can see, and we can all follow along with this routine for the day. Of course, we want to make sure we include some breaks and time for food. Can't go all day without eating. And if you can, it's great to include some time for some independent activities. So we can have maybe reading time or game time, and I'll share some more information later about how you can maybe find some more those types of activities for your kids. So, and then when it comes to eating, if you can have meals prepared ahead of time or have one of the kids prepare the meals, that's another thing that you don't have to worry about when the time comes for that to actually happen. So the second thing that we want to do here is to create a space. So again, when kids are going to their actual classroom in the school building, they have a dedicated space for learning. They have their desk, their classroom. all the materials that they need are right there in the classroom with them, and they don't have to go searching for something if they need it. It's right at their disposal. So we want to kind of try to replicate that. I know that you may not all have a perfect space, like a classroom type space. That's okay. It doesn't need to be exactly like a classroom. But what we do want to have is everything that we're going to need together in one place. So if you have a dedicated space, a desk, or a room that you can use, that's great. Get everything in there and all together so it's easily accessible. If you don't, put everything into a box or a basket or a bin so that when it's time to get started, we can just go grab that, lay everything out, and then we can put everything back in there when we're done, and the space can go back to its original use, for example, the dining room table. We want to minimize the distractions in this space, so having the TV on in the background or music playing, unless it's something that is quiet, maybe instrumental, not causing too much or not needing too much attention. We don't want to have it there. We don't want anything that's going to take the students' attention away from what they're trying to work on. Okay, the third thing that we want to do is find resources. So I mentioned before that during independent time, you may want to have your students play some games or do some other activities. There's lots of free sites that you can access that have lessons, games, worksheets, interactive activities, tons of things to make things easier for you. You don't need to create any lessons or make any lesson plans. There's tons of stuff already out there that you can access. Also, many companies are offering free subscriptions right now due to the COVID-19 situation, and I will share some of those. I will be sharing some of those sites to those who are subscribed to my email list. So I'm going to drop the link in the comments now. So if you want to get signed up for that, those emails will be coming out over the next couple of weeks. You'll also get my existing resource lists for math and reading that have close to 20 sites that you can access those types of materials. Okay, so number 4, we're going to want to be flexible. This is a new situation, and this is an emotional time right now for everyone, including students. So we don't want to expect perfection right out of the gate. It's going to take some time to get all of this figured out. It's going to take some time for you to figure out what works best for you. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on your kids. Don't be too hard on the teachers. Everybody is doing something new here. Teachers have been thrown into this as well. They've been asked to take their classes and put them online, classes they were expecting to teach in a classroom environment. Now they're having to do it online. For many of them, it's their first time doing something like this. So give everyone time to adjust and be willing to make changes if things aren't working out for you. If something you try doesn't work, it's okay. Try something else. And the last thing I want to suggest is that you ask for help if you need it. Again, this is a new thing for a lot of us. So you're not expected to know everything. You're not expected to do this perfectly all on your own. Join Facebook groups for homeschoolers, or just talk to other parents who are in the same situation as you. See what's working for them, what's not working. Maybe you can even provide some support or share some things that work for you. And of course, you can keep in touch with your students' teachers. Just keep in mind that, again, they're probably overwhelmed with this whole situation as well. So give them time to get back to you. Try not to wait until something is urgent to reach out, because it will likely take that teacher some time to respond to you. Okay, so those are my 5 tips for being a homeschool hero. And once again, they are: set up a routine, create a space, find your resources, be flexible, and ask for help. So for those of you who are still working and are looking for a little bit of guidance of how to balance both of those things, whether you're working from home or still going into an office, I have a few suggestions for you. First of all is be ready to adjust. This is going to require some changes. You may not be able to get as much work done as you were before. Unfortunately, that is a possibility. So don't let that frustrate you. This is a temporary thing. We're going to do what we can to make it work for as long as we need to. You can also, as I mentioned before, try to have your students do things independently. So whether that's just reading time or playing a game or something, or actually having work independently when signing into those online classes or doing their homework, whatever they can do by themselves, let them handle it. Be there, be nearby to offer assistance, or be ready to answer the phone if they need something. But as much as they can do on their own, let them. You'll be surprised at how much kids are really able to do on their own, especially when it comes to technology these days. And a third thing that I would suggest is working with a tutor. So a tutor can help you with just additional study. If your student is struggling with something and needs more help than the teacher can provide, the teacher can also, or a tutor can also give additional lessons. If there's another topic or something that you would like your student to learn, a tutor can create a plan around whatever it is that you would like for your kid to do and implement that for you. And they can also just kind of take the kids off your hands for a little bit and work through whatever they already have going on with them. Also, I am available to do individual consultations if you'd like more hands-on help with applying these suggestions that I've given and making this transition work. You can contact me and I'd be happy to help you work that out individually for your family. And then lastly, we can delegate chores or other things that would normally be your responsibility. Since the kids have more time now, probably need something to do, you can have them do some of those things, whatever of course is they're capable of doing. Then let them figure out or learn how to teach them how to do the laundry or whatever other tasks there are that need to be done during the day that normally would fall to you. Now's a great time for them to learn how to do some of those things. So those are my tips for those of you who are still working. And once again, I want to say that I am available for consultations if you'd like more assistance with implementing these strategies for yourself, and also for online lessons should you need them for your students. You can contact me here, 321-765-9094. You can also visit my website at helpfultutor.com and email me at info@ahelpfultutor.com. So thanks so much for watching today. I hope these tips that I shared were helpful. If you have any further questions, feel free to comment and I will do my best to reply to your questions. Thanks again. And once again, I am Tondaway from A Helpful Tutor. Have a great day.